Hello, scientists. I'm Azizus Wolf. Welcome back to the gaming facility. This is episode 18 of an Let's Play for Abiotic Factor. If you haven't started from the start, the link to the playlist will be down in the description. Where we are picking up today is looking for Frake after I have been to try and get to the surface. Now, I have done a little bit of running around in between last episode and this episode. Primarily, what I've done is I've upgraded to the Forge chest plate and the Forge helmet, which will give me a little bit of a bonus, both with my armor, and it will also give me that Defiance perk, which bullets will sometimes bounce off my armor. So this will hopefully make me a little less squishy than what I was. The other thing that I've done is I've made the wielding spear and the heater shield, again, just to make myself a little less squishy and to make life a little bit easier on myself. I'm going to dump some of this stuff off though. Now I'm going to hold on to the kitchen knife because I do want to be able to use it to cut up enemies as I come across them. I do have ammo for the security pistol now. I'm going to be taking that with me. There's a few... let's see, what else have we got here? So I want to recycle the bio scrap. I might be able to make another syringe from that. Yes, I can. Okay, what have we got? So I can tuck that away. I don't need to carry as many syringes. And I'm not going to worry about taking anything else with me. That should do. But I'm going to bring this down here. Okay, so that should have me covered for everything that I want. The reason that I'm taking the kitchen knife with me is I don't want to wear through the durability of the wielding spear using it to chop up bodies. So I'll switch to the kitchen knife in order to do that. All right. So from here, I'm going to head back to where the surface was, just so that I can continue to try and track down and find Frake or whatever their name was. We'll run through here. Come up here and have a look. That's a little bit gruesome. And we'll read this terminal. All right, so what else is in here of interest? Don't think there was anything else up here for me to worry about. That's perfectly fine. All right, let's run back down here. And into this mining area. Right. Okay, let's have a look. So I've got more ammo there, which is great. crowbar didn't give me any new ideas, but that's fine. Alright. I can hear an enemy. Alright, so... Yep, we've got another one there, so that's fine. Let's mess up his day. Now, I haven't spent too much time in the mines previously, so I'll be honest, I don't really remember a lot of what's up here. Take that out from a distance. Alright, what do we got here? The mines is an area that I spent very little time in, and so as a result, I don't have a lot of the space memorized. But that's alright. Excellent. So I now have the chain that I needed for the air compressor. So what I might do is... I think I have everything I need for the air compressor, which means I should also have everything that I need for the grinder. So I'll keep going through here, but when I get the opportunity to, I am going to circle back and make the grinder just because it is a much better weapon to walk around with. The grinder is definitely going to be beneficial for me moving forward. Particularly with some of the enemies that are better to tackle from a little bit of a distance away. So let's have a look. I need an optical lens to plug into there. Now I can get an optical lens from the blacksmith if I have the right items for it. It'll just be a case of going and sorting that. So these invisible enemies can be a real pain in the neck. But that's right. I reckon I should be able to sort him. There we go. Yeah, gotcha.
Check-in approved.
Awesome. Well, that gives us a respawn here. So let's do that. I'm not really too fussed about carrying around low quality stuff at the moment. I need to build to get up there. That's fine though. Can I break this down? Unfortunately, it actually broke it. That's alright though. My big thing is that I want to get through... I want to get through and find Frake and I also want to unlock the shortcut to get to the new area. So now this is unfamiliar to me. I actually haven't been up through here. Like I said, I actually haven't explored much of the mines. This all seems unpleasant. Encroachment. Oh, okay. That's something. Right. I think I'm gonna come back here when I have the grinder and check that out a little bit further. The grinder's just gonna be a much better weapon for me to operate with in this sort of area. Okay. Alright, so let's head over here. Some Xantarian rice. Or whatever it's called. I can never remember which way I need to go. Ah, okay. That is... So that's the subway there. So I know that that requires a tram station key. But I can open up this door now, and this gets us back to the main manufacturing area, where I was able to come through and open up all this before. Oh, that's surprising. I expected that to take him down. It didn't. That's right. The second one got him. Now, I just want to double check in here. These guys in here shouldn't have respawned. They should be all nice and happy. Cool. So the sniper's not in there. The guys were up here aren't in there. And excellent. This is all empty and clear as well. So that makes life a lot easier for me, because it means that I don't have to deal with all the soldiers that were in here previously. So I'm going to duck down through here. And circle back around. Now, there was a little office area tucked away near where I've got my outpost set up that I wanted to check in on as well. I want to open this up, which really I should have done previously, but here we are. And I can open this with this level 2 clearance pad, and that'll open that, which makes life a lot easier. Now I can just head through there. I don't have to run all the way around, and it makes getting back to where I was so much easier, which is going to be great. All right, so now I'm going to go craft the grinder. I should have all the materials that I need for it. So I can also make mugginades now, which is really good. Now, the crowbar looks kind of handy as well. So, okay, so the grinder. So I need the air compressor, so I can make that. Let me craft the reinforced hose. And now I have the grinder. Now the grinder is going to be a much better weapon for me to work with. I can fire off at a higher capacity, and I can deal with enemies in a much more quicker manner. But from this, what am I going to dump? Let's see. I kind of want to make a little bit more storage as well. I don't have a lot to work with when it comes to storage. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I can't make plastic scrap. Can I make... No, I need plastic scrap for that as well. Alright, so what can I break down into plastic scrap? Let's see. I don't really want to have to circle back to my main base just to get plastic scrap if I can avoid it. I don't want to break down plug strip either, because I like using those. Keyboard, I could break those down. Oh, whoops, that's not the keyboard. The keyboard. What other stuff do I have here? Nothing great, really. Now, I don't have any water to put in this at the moment, but I'm still going to pop it down here somewhere. Just so I'm not lugging it around, really. Actually, does it sit up on there, or is it too close? That looks like it's too close. That's right. We can sit it there for now. Okay, so let's go and see if I can track down some plastic. That's all cleared out. Let me check. Yeah, let's break down this stuff. So I got a little bit of plastic from there. I'll come in here and break down these computers as well. That should give me the plastic that I need. For... Is that not picking that up? So that should give me the plastic that I need for the storage. So let's go back and make some more storage. Okay. This is one of those sorts of games that storage tends to be at a premium. Okay, let's dump that stuff. Grab that. Sort of less concerned about sorting my storage and how I have everything in my outpost. Just because this is not where I'm doing the majority of my base stuff. Let's get rid of those. I'm going to get rid of that because I'm not using the scatter shot anymore. But I'm also going to get rid of the crossbow, which will free up a bit of space. And now that's going to give me a lot more to work with as far as space in my hotbar. And that should keep me going for a little bit. I'll grab the splints again as well. Excellent. So now I have my grinder that I can work with. And from here, I should be able to run out easily and get back to where I was. I think I'm pretty okay to run through here unhindered. You know, we'll have those creatures to deal with from time to time. But for now, we can run back right through to here. Now this is going to be an important area coming up. Once we have the tram station override key, and I need to get that from Frake. So, and Frake is going to be up in there. So let's go through here. And as you can see, they've got their own sort of defenses and stuff that they've built up in here.
They're with the research division. Don't shoot.
Look, just talk to Frake, okay?
I don't know how you've made it this far. Those savages have blocked every exit. They even collapsed the surface tunnel. But remember what happened in '85? When the kinetics team overloaded the Secretron? They triggered a singularity that carved a hole clean through to the next sector. We could do it again right now, if these damn quakes hadn't broken the electron pumps. So I sent my team to the blacksmith. He can make the parts to fix the pumps. We'll make our own exit. All my people need to do is follow the pipes. Red, yellow, green, they'll find their way to the pumps they need to fix. It's been hours since they left, but they'll be back, I'm sure of it.
So now I've got to go back to the blacksmith and get their help, which is going to be fairly straightforward. Actually, let's grab that, take back with us. So I'm going to need to make a few things or buy a few things depending as I go through all this. And those are the pipes that Frake was talking about. But for now, I'll make my way back to the blacksmith. Now I'll probably reset the forklift and start to use that to drive around now that I've opened up that next sector as well. That next section. We'll come down here, have a chat with the blacksmith, see what he wants from us.
Frake wants to blow a hole in the floor. She's too smart for her own good sometimes. But what choice we got? I can trade you parts to fix the pumps, sure. But there's a couple things I need first. Price of doing business. Cause Frake ain't the only one with plans. I'll buzz the list to you. One more thing. You're gonna have to unlock the tram station too. One of Frake's people said there's a gateway in there. If that portal leads where I think it does, some of what's on that list is on the other side. I'll give you specs for a tram key. Should open the station right up.
So I'm going to need the optic lens for some stuff. But I also have the specs for the tram key now. Okay, so I'm going to need some circuit boards. That's fine. I can do that. I also have the industrial battery now. So this makes life a little bit easier moving forward. The industrial battery will ensure that we can plug things in and it'll last well and truly through the night. So we've got the blueprint for the biometric arms now as well, the biometric arm wraps, which lets us use some of the military weapons. What else? Okay, so the big thing that I need for the tram key, or the tram the tram station key is some circuit boards. So I'm gonna go and track down some circuit boards. Now let's dump that there. So I've got some water here now. I'm gonna make my way back to the office sector so I can track down some more computers, so I can get some more circuit boards and make the tram key station, or the tram station key, sorry. So the tram station is what will lead us to the next portal area. So it's probably the most important thing to unlock. And it's the next area that we will be able to get access to renewable resources, with it resetting every night the same way that Flat Hill resets. So we might go back to Flat Hill and do a little bit of farming for computer parts there. Let's see. Yeah, I reckon I'll head there and do it. Just because I know that there's some fairly easy stuff to get there. Okay, so it's just gone nighttime. Okay. And as we can see, the grinder is just a much better weapon to have compared to basically anything that I've had up to this stage. Okay, I'm going to come in here. I will vacuum up this stuff. There's a recharge bay just out here as well, so I can just recharge this. Which is why I decided to come in here and get that first, as opposed to going straight into Flat Hill as well. My big focus is going to be the electronic stuff, because that's what's going to give me the circuit boards that I need. Okay, so I don't think there's any more in here. That's fine though. Let's run through here. We'll head up the elevator. Again, the grinder is a much better weapon now. And the other thing is you can pick up some of the grinder discs as well. And so it serves as a good replacement for the crossbow in regards to dealing with ammo as well. So I do normally like to have a couple of stacks on me when I head out. Just because you're not going to get a one-for-one return on your grinders. All right. Let's head down through here. We'll be able to run by the composer, get some money. I'll keep running past through the gates that we've opened up previously. That composer's in the other direction, so I can run past them as well. I'm going to be targeting the computer towers because they are what actually has the circuit boards. I can also make circuit boards from tech scrap. But my big concern is getting the computer towers. So having a little bit of a knowledge of what respawns in each of the portals is useful, because it means when you do need specific items, you know where to go to farm them. Not in there. Okay. So that's given us 8, which I think is roughly what we needed. Let me have a look. Yeah, I got that. Maybe I didn't need 8. Maybe it takes 8 tech scrap. Yeah, it takes 8 tech scrap to make a circuit board, but I've got all the circuit boards I need for now. So from here, I can run my way back. Up and around. And this means I'll be able to head back to manufacturing and make the tram station key straight away. So getting the grinder is sort of a step up in your survivability when you do head into the manufacturing area. I forgot that I made this little base. So this little base here is part of an outpost that I made for an upcoming video on base locations. So here's like a little bit of a sneak peek on it. I will have that video coming out fairly soon. Just looking at different base locations that you can set up in to begin with, but that's just another little location aside from the cafeteria where I set up. All right, let's run down. I'll just recharge this while I'm here. Let's see. It doesn't look like Warren's got anything new to trade. That's redone. I'll come and jump back on the tram to head back to manufacturing. So there's going to be a couple of things that opening up the tram station is going to provide us. One is access to the next portal world. 2, we are going to get access to another tram that goes back to the office sector, which again allows us to run around a little bit easier and navigate the facility a little bit more smoothly. All right, so let's hit. Okay, so I need the computation brick, need the controller, and then I can make the tram station key. Excellent. So from here, gonna dump a bunch of stuff. Bunch of this that I don't need right now. All right. Let's dump that as well. Okay, so from here, we're going to come back through. Actually, that's what I was going to do. I was going to grab the forklift. So now I can drive the forklift through here. Head up this way. Whoop. Going a little bit too fast. Now I can hold up here and I can open up the tram station. Now this is a pretty solid location to set up in. What I normally like to do is clear this out first, so I need to reload. Oh, that's not ideal. Okay, that's one down. I should be able to... Oh. Okay, so I know the other one's down there somewhere. There he is. There we go, and he's taken care of as well. Now here is where I normally like to set up another base. Because it is fairly easy to defend. You can set up a decent amount in here as a single person. So what we'll probably do is set up a crafting station. We can do a bunch as far as either farming across the bottom here or storage. We can sort of stack up to the ceiling pretty easily. And we can even fit a bed or two in here. So this is a pretty good location to be able to do all that. I'm going to press this, which will open up that door there as well. I'm going to check. I don't think there's anyone else that I need to worry about. Go and pick up the grinder disc. And here we see the entrance to the next portal world. Nice and simple. Oh, there's a grinder disc there. The other great thing about the grinder discs is they do ricochet off walls. So sometimes you can get lucky enough to clean up other enemies. You can also set up in here as far as a base location. I prefer not to, just because I like the office space a little bit better. It's a little bit more enclosed. There's plenty of little plug areas around here that you can sort of work with to set up and utilize. So it's a pretty solid area to set a base location up in. So let's take care of that. You can also set up in this area if you've got a little bit of a larger group, or even in this area around here is viable as well. There's a lot that you can do in this area. And you can actually fit quite a large number of people in here. You could even have sort of 4, 5, or even 6 people in here, depending on how you want to set it up. You know, everybody sort of takes a location of one person in there, you know, one person up in there, someone sort of taking over this area down here, have this area in here a little bit, and this area up here. So there's plenty of space around that you can use to where did you come from? There's plenty of space around here that you can utilize to build a decent sized base. Not sure where this last guy came from, but that's all right. But from here, what we can do is we can use the tram to head back to the office sector. Let's pick up these. Grab the blade. Let's dice him up. I'll just dice up these guys prior to heading back, just so I can collect some resources from them. That didn't work very well, unfortunately. Okay, I've done them, and I did the ones over there. All right. Let's jump on the tram. And this is going to take us back to the office sector where we originated from. Now, it is quicker to walk to manufacturing from the tram station, but you can also get to the tram station from... sorry, you can also get to the manufacturing sector from the tram station by catching the trams, but it actually ends up taking longer to do that, so it's not worth time. Now with this, we end up on the other side of this partition. We need to go this way, and there's our button there to call or send the tram as required. And then we can just run up here along this walkway. And this will get us back to our office sector area. So from here, we're going to want a few things. We are going to want a new crafting bench, because we're going to be setting this up in the tram area to stop a lot of those respawns that are going on. We're also going to want to start to be able to put together a bit of storage space. So we might grab that from storage. So we need a bit of plastic for that as well. We're going to want to be able to make some batteries. Let's have a look. A couple of those. We've got a few of those going just to set us up and establish ourselves. We are also going to want, so crafting bench. I'll have to go and grab some more piping. That's fine. And the repair and salvage bench. Again, I'm going to need more piping and I'm going to need an anvil, but that's fine. I know where to get those. So those are a few things that I'm going to do off screen just so that we don't have to worry about dealing with the with me running around. And then when we come back in the next episode, we will look at diving into the portal world in the tram station. If you've made it this far in the video, I'll get you to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, don't forget to be awesome.